Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Hawaiiverse podcast, a podcast that supports local by spreading aloha, not COVID. I'm your host, Kamaka Diaz, and our guest today is a man who has been through the lowest of lows and the highest of highs. With hard work, a creative mind, and a relentless drive for success, he has turned his rags into riches. He is a talented artist, surfer, activist, Hawaiian, and owner of the very popular Farmers Market Hawai'i. No, not the farmers market selling fresh fruits and vegetables, but the fresh Hawaiian streetwear that gives Hawaii fashion a voice. This father of five and husband is a true businessman through and through, and even BJ Penn in an arm wrestling competition. We gotta ask BJ about that.
Yeah.
I am so stoked to have him on today. His name is Keoni Payton, aka Painkillers. Aloha, Keoni. Welcome to the podcast. How you
Oh,
doing?
dude, you just made me all like insecure because that was such a great introduction that I'm just like, damn, dude, that's some pressure. I gotta live up to all that shit now.
No, I like to brag about my guests. That's what it is.
Thank you, appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
well, I just want to say first off, mahalo for letting us use your studio. This is our first podcast in Hilo, and you just offered us to use your studio, so that's super awesome. It's amazing over here.
Yeah,
You have your own podcast.
yeah. I mean, like, I worked really hard to like get to this point, and I looked through your stuff, so I don't just offer it to people. Like like if I look at your stuff, I say, oh no, this kid's a hustler. Oh, he's gonna go someplace, and understand your drive and how badly you want it. Then I got no problem loaning my shit.
I appreciate it. It makes me feel so happy. But this is about you. It's not about me. Because you're on the opposite side now. I'm the host, you're the guest.
Yeah, dude, you're the driver.
Yeah, so, man, you had quite the life, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Yeah, I lived a movie. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
lived a movie.
You ever thought about writing books or
Um,
maybe creating a documentary one day?
yeah, it was kind of in the works. When people ask me to do projects, I'm super game. I have to like it. I'm not gonna do all the work for people. Like when people, especially like even in collaborations, I'm gonna do what I need to do on my end. But if it's, I also understand like my worth and stuff, and I need to see effort on their part for me to just like go all in because I go, I'll go 110. You know what I mean? 110
Yeah,
automatically
I
from
can
jump.
see that. You're a hustler, and I respect that. And you've been through it all, man. From being incarcerated to having your baby, not baby like literal baby,
Yeah.
but your brand, your first like Defend Hawaii, right? It was stolen.
Defend
Technically.
Hawaii is my third.
Your third.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I that's the first one I knew.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's another part of it too. Yeah, like Farmers Market wasn't an overnight success. Like people say it is. What did they
They
say?
don't know everything that happened, the preparation, the hardships years before that.
My friend just told me this too. Overnight success stories take years.
Yeah.
So and I was just like, "Fuck, that's a good one, dude. I might have to steal that." But it's the truth. Then I remember hearing this thing about Usain Bolt, who he for that 90-second race that he won. He made over $1 million per second. Yeah, but then they forget about the 20 years prior to
Yeah.
that, practicing and training and running his ass off to get to that point where he won a 90-second race. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
That's a great perspective.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I love that. So before we talk about all the things that you've accomplished, and I want to start from the beginning, from your childhood. Like, what was that like? Where you from?
Oh, so
Tell us your story.
Kaneohe. So I was born on
4'4"?
Oahu. Yeah, 4'4". Born on Oahu, went to Puahala. Second grade we moved to Maui. Second grade we moved to Maui. Fourth grade moved back. During half the year, moved back to Maui,
Wow.
and then I was in Maui till like high school,
Okay.
and then I just in Maui, man, I was just surfing, yeah.
Yeah, you rip. I saw some videos.
Dude, I was better when I was younger. But so I was just surfing, and then my family's kind of getting down on me, like, oh, what about high school? Because I just wasn't showing up to high school, yeah. And then I was like, shit, that's the only thing to do over here, surf, you know what I mean? So, and I had a lot of friends in Honolulu still, yeah. And then, I kind of finessed my way back into Honolulu, yeah. Because, like Maui, at that time, Maui was really like country. Like Maui back then was like what Hilo is today.
I was like country on K.
Yeah, dude.
That's country.
So right there, like, as a kid or a teenager, you're always looking for something fast and cool, you know what I mean? And
Instant gratification.
yeah, well, something that, like, when you're watching TV and music videos, they're living that lifestyle. And Oahu had that kind of like that city appeal and stuff, and I wanted to be a part of that, so I finessed my way back over. I said, oh yeah, I'll go to school, and I don't want to go to school over here because I get into fights and stuff, and I'm always getting suspended. Maybe if I just get a brand new start on Oahu. So I transferred to Castle, and then nothing changed. I did the same shit over there, and then it got worse. Cause then we just started doing we just started doing like city shit. You know what I mean? And Honolulu was that place to do city shit. It was like I got more into graffiti, and I got more into stealing car stereos and cars, and graduated, and it just kept on getting worse from there.
Dang.
But yeah, dude, yeah, it's a trip though. That's why I said, like, all the bad things I learned in life happened in Honolulu. So, I mean, if I stayed in Maui, my life would have probably been different. I probably could have went pro in surfing and stuff. But yeah, no regrets. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Who knows how it would have turned out?
Exactly.
Though, you know what I mean? And I'm not bummed out how it turned out right now.
Yeah. You don't have regrets?
No.
You're not a person who
Nope. Not at
holds
all.
on to that.
I don't get into that shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think financially, there's some choices that I would have made different. But, it's kind of one of those things now, like, I can tell myself the same thing. Like, look, you're going into that pattern again. You're spending, or even, your interests are kind of going into that pattern again. Cut it out, Keoni. Get back into your fucking grind. Get back into your mode, and just handle business. You know what I mean?
So what was the turning point? What changed? What was the catalyst that started your success, that just created that ambition? Because what I hear is that people are motivated by two things: inspiration and desperation. So what was it for you?
Both.
Both.
It was both. Like, you gotta understand, I was never afraid of working. I had a newspaper job in fourth grade. That was my first job. Yeah. Oh, this is a wild one too. So in Honolulu, I had a newspaper job, a newspaper route.
How old are you?
I don't know, fourth grade. What,
Oh wow.
What is fourth grade like?
8. I'm just gonna double.
Yeah, something
double
like
it.
that. No, yeah, because I look at my kids now and I'm just like, there's not gonna go work.
Different times.
Oh, I feel like the old uncle when I think like that too. But I used to, like, I would walk around. I remember in Maui, I'd walk around and I'd ask people to do their yard. Like, if it was like old Japanese couple and they have a lot, I'd ask to do their yard. Can I rake your leaves and stuff? For $1 or some shit, couple bucks. And then we go play video games and buy French fries at Nozzles or something in Kaului, but Wailuku, I mean. But so when I see my kids now, I'm just like, shit, you guys, how come you guys don't want to work? But I make them like work at home and stuff. But at an early age, I was looking for employment. So I delivered newspaper in Honolulu. I wanted to do something, earn some money when I went to Maui. I also did, how in Honolulu, it's kind of popular, or what it was. You'd sit at the intersections and kids would sell newspapers, yeah? So I was one of those kids too.
Wow.
So when I moved to Maui, I noticed that there wasn't any of that, yeah? It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sell some newspapers over here. So I'd go to the supermarket when somebody would get a newspaper. I'd put my hand over there, I'd stop them from closing it, and I'd take all the. I'd say, oh, sorry, I gotta get my dad a newspaper, and then I'd kind of read it in the newspaper machine. You know what I mean? And then I see that they're gone, and then I take the whole stack. And then I'd go to the intersection, I'd sell newspapers, dude.
Wow.
And I think it was like 50 cents or some shit like that. But I was
You're
just
a
happy.
businessman.
Dude, I was happy making money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so that then I got it was this weird thing because I did it so often after that they put a I guess Maui News put a detective on the
On
paper.
this fourth grader.
Yeah,
Or little
dude.
did they know it was a fourth grader, yeah.
Dude, yeah, and then my dad had a warrant too, yeah, so he was like super pissed because they caught me and they arrested me over there and they had to release me to my parents' custody and stuff, yeah. My dad had a warrant too, so he made his girlfriend get me, yeah. And dude, I was just like, dirty lickings.
Yeah.
And then after that, right there, it was like, okay, well, I'm trying to get a new job, and we lived in Harbor Lights, and Harbor Lights in Maui is like the KPT of Maui. Shishi in the stairwells, shishi in the elevator, bro. It's like it's the KPT of Maui, definitely. But then I got a job at Jack in the Box. So and I got a work permit, got a job at Jack in the Box. I like to say you're only allowed with a work permit. You're only allowed to work
15 maybe? 14?
fuck yeah, maybe 14 or
14?
something.
Yeah. People don't know about that.
Eighth grade, bro.
Nobody works that young these days.
Yeah, I know.
Unless they're a TikTok influencer.
Yeah. Hey, big up to those kids, man,
Yeah.
because they're actually getting caked up right now. But yeah, so Jack in the Box was my first real job, but I just did it for the meal too, because every day you work, you get a meal,
free food, yeah.
you get a free meal.
Smart.
So, I mean, after that, no, yeah, because I was in high school. Then high school, I moved back because they wanted me to go back to high school. And then, yeah, it was just fucking Sandy's and Irma's every day.
Yeah.
So we went to school just to meet, who's going beach, There's a handful of my friends that had cars, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, who's going? Because I'm going with you guys. If you're not going, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the beach life of high school, though.
Yeah. So after you graduated high school,
I didn't graduate.
oh, you dropped out.
Yeah.
And
I
what
think
did you do?
I was sell weed, but I was 7 credits short from graduating. Yeah, and I worked at the mall at this taco stand, and I just started selling weed. Weed
Yeah.
was my first thing. So I worked in the back, and people would stop by the taco shop. Dude, I'd sell
like
them
a
bags
front,
or
yeah.
bathroom break. Yeah, dude.
Could I get the Grande Supreme, please?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
with extra
Oregano,
relish. Oregano.
We get the one with the Kona oregano.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd always be taking breaks, and I'd just meet them by the bathrooms. I'd sell gram bags of weed, 25s all day.
You have more jobs than I think some people my age has had. At only 17, 18 at that point.
Yeah.
So what turned everything around?
The thing that well, I like how you said inspiration and desperation. Yeah. So it's a little bit of both. So through desperation, obviously I sold drugs. I started off with weed, then got to coke, then ecstasy, ice. In fact, fuck, whatever I could get my hands on. Just turn a profit. But then I would take that money, I put it into a clothing brand, and I was 19. That's when I had my first clothing brand, and I flew to Indonesia, just on a whim, because I heard that's where people were getting their stuff made at. So I just flew out there with some bands, and started to put together a clothing company, because it was I was always into dressing nice, because if you dress nice, you feel good. You know what I mean? So that's big for me. So I figured and I was really into it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing, when you don't have much, you're looking at everybody else and you're dissecting what they have that's good. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, oh man, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, those shoes are dope. You know what I mean? Like, but at that point, I was even a kind of a hater, dude, because he had these De La Soul dunks. And dude, I wanted those so
His friend's in
bad.
the studio. He's pointing at it right now.
Dude, yeah, I couldn't.
Shout
I
out
didn't
to
stand in
Dubes.
line, bro. Then he had those, and I was just like, "Fuck!" Dude, I stepped on them. I told him they're ugly. I teased him about it, dude. But yo, he had some fresh kicks too.
Yeah, didn't. Isn't that a Drake song? Like, jealousy is just love and hate at the same
Same
time.
time, yeah. Confused form of admiration, yeah.
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 So, so after all this inspiration, just going to Bali, seeing everybody with the things that you wanted, the things that you admired, what was the next step?
Just to create them and to create it and sell it myself.
So you created it in Indonesia?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I took the items that I really liked, and then I opened them up, pattern, and I created the patterns, and I said, all I did basically was alter things that I like. What I would do, some pieces I would say, okay, the hem is too short. I'll make it a little bit longer. And back then it was like baggy clothes were super in, yeah. So I took my favorite items, and I said, okay, I need a little bit more space on the crotch, and basically, just redesign well-selling items. You know what I mean, and give it my twist, and and put my colorways and my prints on them. So it wasn't like I had to go to school for this shit. There's factories out there that you can take something that you like and just say, reproduce this. And I'd go shopping for I go to Desperateness and go shopping for materials. So I bring back materials. I said, I want this done in this, make this wider, bring this longer, you know what I mean? And then I'd go surfing, come back the next day, they'd have the sample ready. I'd wear it surfing because sometimes like it won't, the material won't hold up well too, yeah. So I'd use it. I was up there for a couple months, so I'd use it myself. And then some that looked really good and I think was sold really well still didn't hold up in the water that good through washes and stuff. So I was like, okay, yeah, shelf that one, find a new one, and it's just trial and error, basically. And then then I got some shit like going and brought it back to Oahu, and tried to get it in the stores, made a line sheet and stuff. And then it just turned out like nobody was fucking with it. Like I thought it was going to be something like all my friends liked it. They're like, fuck, that's so sick, Keoni. Fuck yeah, dude. And well, you have friends that support and then friends want for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of both.
Hey,
Yeah.
real quick, friends, support your friends and buy their stuff. Don't ask for free things, because I mean, we all love free things, right?
Oh,
we
yeah,
all love
totally.
free things, but especially when they're getting started, you gotta support.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta spend the extra $5, $10, whatever, compared to the
The
those
big
big brands.
totally.
But because it's just so helpful, especially for local businesses.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, totally, bro. So but the stores weren't picking it up. And I was just like, what the fuck, bro? It's doper than the shit they got in there, but the stores weren't picking it up. And then, so the money wasn't there. The passion was there, the energy was there, but the money wasn't there for me, huh? So, I mean, I got some, I have something to fall back on, which is,
Yeah.
selling dope.
What you've known for
Yeah,
how many
dude.
years, right?
Yeah, so yeah, you fall right back into that pattern of easy money. And then, but so now that I understood that, like, how do I get into stores? What do I have to do? Also, what items sold really well from me on these runs? Because I had full cut and sews, anorak jackets, cotton twill cargo shorts, cargo pants, denim pants, and I kind of learned about what was that? Even currency exchange. When you change in your currency and how to get more out of your currency, like the American dollar, yeah, versus the Indonesian rupiah. And I went over there during well, they call it a regime change, yeah, but it's just during election time. And then because there was so much political turmoil, the rupiah was like, you could get fucking a lot of rupiah for your US dollar, because they're trying to attract outside economy in, yeah. So right there, when I cashed in, what we're getting like almost doubled my money when I cashed in. But I always think it's gonna go higher. So I cashed in at that. I cashed in half, and then right there I was thinking, I was waiting because
It's like playing stocks.
it kind of is though.
Yeah.
It kind of is. And then right there, then I didn't, then I'll cash in a little bit more because I seen it going up. Then it plateaued, and then it hit a dip, and then when it started to dip, then right there I was like, fuck it, cash the rest in too. You know what I mean? Before it goes too low, and it went too low. And then at that point, you still, before the market adjusts, you still have a time to play with something and lock in all your deals. So you would have to get a you have to do all your purchase orders right then and there while you're locked in. So say a $5 Aloha shirt that you're getting done. Since you doubled your money, they didn't adjust the cost of it, yeah? So you lock it in at 5. Because if you wait maybe a couple weeks, they move it up to 7. You know what I mean? And the difference between 5 and 7 is like, almost half the price.
Yeah.
The price almost doubled. So, lock in all your orders and stuff. But like I'm 19 years old and I'm learning all of this.
You're a smart guy. You're pretty bright. Because
No,
I'm listening
hustling.
to this and I'm just like, man, this guy, he's gonna be a successful guy. To take away all the bad things.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with that, like knowing how to run a business, knowing how to make money, because knowing how to make money is a skill.
Yeah.
Knowing how to like create your own business, how to analyze all these things, that's a skill in itself.
Yeah. I'm shit, and that's why I say I don't regret anything, because where I learned that.
Yeah.
I learned that in the streets.
You learn more from life,
Yeah.
just like being out traveling than you do in school.
Oh,
in my
totally.
opinion.
Yeah, that's why when you said you went Peace Corps, I was like, shit. And I think, being away from Hawaii, you have a greater respect and love for Hawaii.
Exactly.
And I think that's like super huge.
Yeah, no, I wasn't grateful for what we had here until I first studied abroad in Spain, and then I went to Argentina, and then you catch a travel bug, and then still yet I'm just like I want to be everywhere outside of Hawaii. It's so much better out there.
Yeah.
Then but you realize as you talk to people, they're like, wow, you live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You live in paradise. You live where people vacation.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and I speak the Hawaiian language, and they're like, oh, is it? Do a lot of people speak it? And I'm like, oh wait, not really. So I'm just like, wow, I'm very unique.
Yeah.
And that is just a blessing to have.
Totally,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. Like that's always like, that's my thing right now. Like I'm in this space where like, okay, do I go back to school? But like I'm a little older.
What are you gonna learn though? You
Language.
oh language.
Yeah,
language.
dude. Like I
never too
admire
late.
that, dude. I'm not jealous, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, yo, homeboy can Olelo Hawaii. That's what's up. And even that came to me like, when I first moved over here from the first Mauna Kea, standoff, I chaperoned, like my friend got sick and he worked at a Hawaiian immersion school.
Which one?
Navihi.
Yeah, that's where I went.
Okay, so but right there, so I stood in for Milan's, and then I went up, just
Anaka,
chaperone. Yeah, so I just was a chaperone, make sure the kids like stay in one group and stuff, and just make sure nobody gets hurt, no fights or whatever. So I did that, but and I was just blown away. All these kids are just speaking in Hawaiian. I was just blown away by it. Then I heard them speak Japanese, dude. Here's the kicker, dude. Then right there, I thought I heard some Japanese, so I was looking around for tourists. I was like, oh, make sure no like weird people was talking to the kids. Yeah, it was the kids that were talking.
Crazy, yeah. They teach us Chinese, Japanese,
too.
We had Latin at one point.
Whoa, damn.
Yeah.
But then,
crazy.
so I leaned into the kids. I was like, what is that? All the bad words. And then after, they told me, oh, no. I was like, wait, so you guys speak Japanese too? They're like, looking at me like, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, dude. And I was blown away by it. And I was like, dude, my kids have to go here. And and I spoke to people and I told them, I was like, man, these kids speak Japanese too. And they were like, yeah. If you learn another language at such an early age, you can attest to
Your
this.
brain's a sponge. It just absorbs all of that.
And you learn it makes it easier to comprehend and learn. Because English language, from what I get, man, is like, it's backwards.
Yeah.
Rather than,
I taught it for 2 years in Madagascar. It's
For real.
so... I'm just like, wow, how do we even learn this? Because this is so confusing.
Yeah, totally. Like, all the other languages, like Japanese, Hawaiian, Spanish, is very phonetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost straight to the point, where you have English language, you have like all these weird little placeholders, and even in the writing, which is what makes it very confusing. And even their measurement, they use different. Like,
Yeah, I think we're the only one. Everywhere else uses like kilometers, meters.
imperial or whatever. Yeah.
I can't remember the metric
Yeah.
scale or something like that.
Which is weird, but when you understand what America is, I think things will start to make sense why they did it that way. They made it so tough that you couldn't go outside of America, or that you felt uncomfortable going outside of America, which is from American standpoint, it's good for America. A lot of what is that? Pride, American pride. A lot of
That's what it's all about. I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah.
Like, all the songs, yeah.
yeah, and that's the inculcation of all the prior generations before we started having schools, like Hawaiian immersion schools that started to really pop off too. So it was a good way to brainwash several generations. You know what I mean? And
I like that word.
And I think now today that you are giving people choices, on how to think and how to learn, and you're actually learning the true history, which and this, all kind of red flags are popping up, and you're like, man, I was duped. All this, I believe that, but you believe things because half the time they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Not believing in something takes work. It takes anxiety and stress and
It's
confrontations.
uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, and it puts you in confrontational viewpoints with people that you would normally agree with, and everything would be cool. But now that you know things, you can't, and they say something and it's wrong. You're like, hey, yo, come over here, man. Let me tell you something. I heard what you said about, we should be lucky that we got taken over. And I'd like to say I disagree, because we had electricity. We had a higher literacy rate
Yep.
than America.
Highest in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Or in the U.S. Or
Yeah.
like 90-something%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have the highest literacy rate. So yeah, we did live in grass shacks, you know what I mean, and huts, and how we lived was very primal, I guess, or whatever. But man, we're not a dumb people.
We're smart.
Yeah, dude.
Bilingual, trilingual, wayfarers,
Well,
hard workers.
Yeah, so just like those kids in Indonesia that I met, that all of them spoke several different languages, and they needed those languages to survive.
Yeah.
Because they're out there like hustling. I'll take you to do this, 25 cents. You know what I mean?
I noticed that in all the countries I go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got little kids just
Hustling.
making that money.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Totally, bro.
Yeah. It's funny. One time, when my sister visited me in Madagascar when I was in the Peace Corps, we were in this one town going to this tourist thing, and then you see these kids, they try to come to you, try to sell you things like hand-drawn letters or whatever, super nice.
Yeah.
And then they just try to follow you along, making like they're guiding you, even though if you don't need a guide. And then they ask you for money after. And there's one kid, and they speak English. Some of them spoke English. Like, little kids, super impressive. And they said, as we left, because we didn't give them money, not good day. Or something, or not good morning.
Yeah.
That's so funny that they had the
Hey, at that early age, you know how to
smarts
shame you.
say that. Yeah. not good day or not good morning, whatever they said. That was impressive, but also funny.
Yeah, totally, man. Like my uncle guys would tell me, too, when we go up, because then they came with me on the next run, and they would be just like, yeah, don't you don't give them money, don't give them money, because me, I'm just like, I'm super generous, yeah. I'm just like, oh yeah, right there.
You enable them.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Then they won't leave you alone. I'm
Yeah.
just like, shit, dude. I don't have, dude. I'm up here for 2 months, man. I just blew a few dollars, and I have to budget the rest of my stuff because I'm gonna be up here for so long.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you give me money. And then right now, I was like, shit, okay, uncle, yeah. Now I know the assignment.
Yeah, that's so funny. And you don't see that unless you leave.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have that.
You have to
We're
travel.
so privileged here. We're almost in a bubble here.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally agree with that one. But that's why I think that when you leave, you and you come back home, with more. You know what I mean? Like even at EK, like look at me. Like I didn't know about like currency exchange and stuff. And I was trying to tell my friends when I got back. I was like, dude, I doubled my money the first week. And then like I said, and then they started adjusting prices, and like I was like, what do you guys? I tried to hype up all my friends in the group, yeah. And one of my friends came up. He was like super into playing chess, yeah. And I was like, dude, do something. You're into chess, man. Why don't you make a chessboard, like a Hawaiian chessboard, where we use so instead of using a horse, we made, we drew out sketches and stuff. He had a boar,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then, we had, we had Liliuokalani, Kamehameha, you know what I mean? So we made a chess set, dude, in 98, like a Hawaiian chess set.
Where is that? I want that.
Yeah, I don't know. That was Gary, bro. Like,
oh, that's
because my friends are into it.
Just thinking of
dude,
that.
they're into chess, like heavy
Yeah.
into chess, and I was just like, why don't you make a Hawaiian version, dude? And it was nice because it was in a case. You put all the pieces in the case, you fold it up, it clicks, and he brought back, he got it done for like real cheap because we went into like Ubud and stuff. And right now, Ubud and stuff is popular because it's such a tourist attraction. It's where all the monkeys and stuff, live, and like little monkey forest. You feed the monkeys and stuff like for tourists, but. Primarily, it was a wood carving village, yeah, like a whole like wood carving village, and that's where you go if you wanted something wood, carved out of wood, handmade, carved out of wood. You go to that village and bring your little sample and take your sample to, you walk up and down the street, say how much, and you get price quotes.
And you bargain.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dude,
I love that,
homeboy
like-
over there said it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to him.
I would lie about that stuff.
Friend, I did too. I was a hustler, dude.
First guy I'm talking to is like, oh yeah, those people said it was $20.
Yeah. Oh, that's my cousin, Marty. That's my cousin. You lie. Sometimes they catch me like that too, you know.
Yeah.
I try to like get it for half the price. Oh yeah, you go to them then.
Yeah.
I was like, no, but I want this much. So if you can give me this much at this price, man, we got a deal, you know. But I need it in this time frame. So with him, he said it's going to take a little bit longer. So I'll go with you if you can give it at this price for this time frame, you know. And you just kind of barter, but it was pretty cool. It's pretty funny too,
It's
though.
fun, yeah. I miss that. Man, so I love talking about these things. But I do want to learn more about Farmers Market Hawaii and how you created that.
Okay, so
The other hustles. You have a lot of hustles, but
yeah. So so that was me wetting my feet in the clothing game, yeah. Like I said, I fell back into my older habits, just selling dope and stuff. Then but I was always trying to take that money and get legit businesses, you know what I mean? Because I know nobody's gonna give me a loan.
Yeah.
I'm 19, dude, high school dropout. After after high school, I never had a job. After I started hustling, I never had a job. So I have this big gap where I've never had a job, yeah, for years. So it's not like it makes it real hard if you do want to like square up and live a square life and get a job and stuff. You're gonna have to really start at the really, 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 really bottom, especially without a high school diploma too, yeah.
Yeah, without credit, nothing.
Yeah, nothing, yeah. So fell back into my old habits, but then so I just take my dope money, and then I had a motorcycle shop and stuff. Well, I had a video magazine, and this is like when video magazines were becoming popular, was on the early, like on the early cusp of it though, because we were.
FTW, right?
Oh well, before that one.
Okay, I saw that online.
Yeah. No, but it was called 808 Speed.
Okay.
So, but I'll tell you about FTW.
Okay.
But 808 Speed, so it was kind of like this video magazine, and then like I rode motorcycle and stuff. But I rode motorcycle because they're very fast. Usually I got some fucking work in my backpack, and I can't pull over. You know what I mean? And I can outrun you. I can outrun any cop on my street bike. Yeah. Remember how, dude? I used to outrun cops all the time, dude. But
That's funny because I always thought about that. I was like, man, if I had a motorcycle, even a bike, I could just weave through
dude,
streets. Nobody could ever catch me.
Dude, I went down fucking I went down opposite exits, dude, to turn around and stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah, I did it all. But then I knew that because I had a lot of work in my bags and stuff that I could get away. So for me, it was just like it was a thing to do. Didn't have a license. Still don't have a license.
I don't know if we can say that one.
Yeah.
He has a license.
Motorcycle license, yeah. I'm permit. But yeah, so right there, I was into bikes too, and my friend just got a camera, and then he's like he wanted to take some pictures of me and the boys wheeling and stuff and doing tricks and stuff. So he followed us one day, and then he made this video, and then right there I was like, wow, fuck, this is sick, dude. Dude, I look like I look like a movie star in this shit.
Yeah.
Like all of us. Look at this shit. We look like we're in a rap video. And then after right there, I was like, we can make a business. I pulled up on him. I was like, hey, we can make a business out of this. And then he was like, yeah, fuck, let's go. I said, okay, so what do we need to buy? And that's the thing, and that's what selling dope brought opportunities where normally I'd just be like, I wouldn't have that opportunity. Like cameras are too expensive.
Just because of the money that came in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
And making $1,000 a day as a kid too. And then right there I was just like, yeah, okay, so we'll get that. What's the best one to get? Let's get the fucking best shit. And then we got the best shit. We're making these little videos, and we started to sell these videos by the hundreds.
Who were you selling them to?
Well, it was Razor Sports, and I had and then I got an office, and we had Video Zine Productions, so I had an office, and yeah, that place was wild too, dude. Because it was like, like we all just hung out over there and just like fucking partied too, and we'd work on videos and stuff when nobody's around, and then back then it was like rendering a whole fucking video, took overnight, dude. Mm-hmm. Like I'd start the render, go home. I lived right up the road. Go home, come back the next morning. In fact, go out, hit some strip clubs and shit. Go home, go sleep, wake up, come back, and it's still rendering.
Wow.
So yeah, it was crazy. But then
every video editor listening to this is like, yup.
Yeah. Well, no, early on. Now, fuck, dude, it's fast. But I went all out. Like I bought the Apple Cinema displays, and at that time, a $7,000 fucking computer setup, or was maybe more, but it was kind of like, wow, fuck, that's unheard of. How the fuck did you get the money to buy it? It's like, selling videos. You know what I mean? And it kind of it played this like, when everybody's asking me how I'm getting money, I was like, it's videos, man. Mm-hmm. So I had a small group of friends, and we all knew because I'd front the boys' work too. And then but the videos thing really looked like we were making it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it was so popular, we got invited to like Fast and Furious early screenings, and dude, I was on the news one time because I guess there was some illegal street racing, and people would just send in footage too. Like you did send us footage, like we didn't have to go tape it. People are giving us their best moments, and all we have to do is, for a couple of hours, sit there, take the best clips, edit, post music, and this is before like you get any copyright infringements or anything like that. Yeah? Rip a few songs and put the scenes to match the songs, and it takes a few hours, but people were just sending in their best videos. So we had super sick drifting, illegal car racing and stuff. And I guess there was an accident by Kahala where the car went off the road, landed on the sign, split in half, but the driver passed away. And then I guess the mom found my videos in his collection in the room, and stuff. And she was when she was interviewed on the news, like she was blaming us.
Wow.
Said he's watching these videos and stuff, and I'm just like, and so the news wanted to do a follow-up interview with me. So they came to my office, and I told them, I was like, when you guys videotape all this stuff happening in Afghanistan, did you guys start it? Or is it just something that's happening that you guys are there to document? You guys didn't start the wars. I didn't start them into street racing, And half the time they send me anonymous tapes. All I do is put it together. I just edit and put it together, and but I understand due to her pain. So, I felt bad, but I also felt attacked, and had they not watched my videos, they would still watch other videos because I wasn't the only video out, but it was something that I tried to bring to the Hawaii, street bike and import car scene, and get a bag doing it too. So like I had, and this is the part that a lot of people don't understand. So I had, I went to UH for Final Cut to learn how to do Final Cut Pro. So I took a work intensive course over there. I learned how to edit videos. I learned about photography. So when people say, like, it's just not that I know how to draw or do graffiti or anything like that. It's I know how to take pictures. I know how to put it together myself and put together these videos. I mean, I hired videographers here and there. I work with other videographers, but I direct the flow and the vibe and the energy of where I want the edits to go half the time. And then sometimes I'll just meet somebody like super talented, like Antonio's really good too. So right there, he's I want to do a project with you. I was just like, okay, well, what's your budget? And he's like, just maybe just this and that. And I'm just like, okay, well, if you can cut that out and we can just go with this, I think we have a deal. You know what I mean?
And you actually know what you're talking about because you studied.
Because exactly.
You lead by example.
Yeah. No, totally. So it's like, every business is like going to buy a car and going to a car lot and buying a car and not knowing anything about the car. They're probably going to take you for a ride. You're going to pay all these fees and, they're going to make a lot of money off of you. So you have to, and that's a business lesson also, learn something about the business you want to get into before getting into it. Just don't go down there and, cash heavy. They probably got me on all those computers and camera equipment I bought, but I also knew what I was going to do and I accepted that early on to be like, okay, well, I'm going to make, if I make this videos, it's going to pop and I'm going to make the money back. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So there's that, that side of business and investing and spending money where it's gonna have, you're gonna get a good return on it. Yeah, so that's part of that stuff too. So it's not just I'm not just a drawing type of guy or painting type of guy, man.
Do it all.
You gotta wear a lot of hats to make it in streetwear.
I know. I was just asking you before we started, like, oh, who runs your social media? Because you have like at least 3 different social medias for yourself, Farmers Market Hawai'i, Broken Hearted. And you said it was just you.
I got the I have a iPhone over here because now we do like FaceTime shopping and stuff. So for people that can't make it to Hilo, because Hilo's like in the cut, you know what I mean? Like my demographic, like most of my customers are on Oahu. So, for Hilo, it's just like, well, everybody's so used to Amazon and stuff already. They know the cuts, they know the sizing and stuff. They're comfortable with the gear already. So now they're just comfortable buying it online or doing phone orders also. Yeah. It's not like you're going to get something and it's going to fit different.
I hate that.
Yeah, see?
I'm at such a weird point where I'm just like, I'm a large, but I'm an extra large if it shrinks in the dryer, blah.
But like I was always, because I'm like 6'2", I was always on that cusp of extra large to double X.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit. And I play fucking video games. I eat snacks, dude. And now I'm double X. Shit.
Hey, at least you know. you don't gotta fluctuate.
I fell off that side of the fence into the fat side. Man. I'm all chubby now. Fuck.
Hey, you're not alone. You're not alone.
Yeah, I know. Nah. After this, I always say this, and I always take on a new project too. But I like to say, after when these NFT things start popping and hit off, because like we're set up really, we're set up to do very, very well in the NFT space now. After that, I'll take a little bit of time off, and work on my health and eat a little bit better. And like we went to an outer island to kind of work on the NFTs, and we did that, because my partner that I'm doing it with, we were locked up together. There's gonna be a little documentary coming out soon on it too, but
okay.
So when we're locked up, we that same energy that like we had when we were locked up, because we're in Oregon together, and 9 months out of the year it's freezing fucking cold. So, we'd stay in the art room in our big jackets and draw and paint and stuff, and we came up with super sick stuff, and that even that cohesiveness, like on how to work with somebody, because he's like ADHD too, yeah. So, I knew that if this project, wanted to get a fucking good running start, we'd need to get away. We couldn't have people like popping in and then, because it not on his part, but like even my part, somebody pops in over here and it's like, oh, dude, and everybody's always coming into Big Island. Oh, fuck, let's go grab a beer. Fuck yeah, bro, let's go grab a beer then. And then I'll fuck off the rest of the day. And then the next day, I'm just like, dude, I don't want to do shit. Recover, yeah, dude, what the fuck was I doing? What was I thinking? And then I go through that little thing again. And so, like, with him, I was just like, dude, we're going to go stay in this fucking small little fucking cottage, bro, and we're just going to fucking bang these things out. We need to do how many? Oh, we need at least 100. 100 in a fucking week. Holy fuck.
But when you're cut off from everything, you have no distractions. It's possible, right?
No, totally. Yeah. So, but not only that, now it's like we push each other. Because, like, even when I'm not feeling I'm just, like, tired and shit. And right there, he's like, hey, bro, how many did you do? Like, okay, fuck. Make some coffee. Let's go. You know what I mean? Because, like, I know I didn't hit my quota, yeah? You're supposed to make a certain amount per day. I was like, oh, dude, I didn't hit my quota. Let's go. You know what I mean? We would push each other, and the only thing concern we had was just like we were like eating eggs every day, eggs and juice. We're drinking, like we're juicing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was kind of cool because I lost 10 pounds in a week over there, and we got a lot of fucking work done. So like in my head, I just know that if I can just kind of put myself in that position, I'll get more done. I know how to, kind of regulate my environment to be more productive and to do what I have to do to meet my goals. Yeah. It's like, it's probably the reason why, like, I'm not going to say, I don't want to jinx myself. Fuck. But, I've never really had like addiction problems like some of my friends have. I can go to EDC, I can eat a Molly and stuff and just have a great time. And, do I want to eat a Molly when I go home? Fuck no. Where's the music? It's not,
it's super rare.
But some people, some of my friends are like that. They're just like, for every fucking weekend. I'm just like, no, I can't do that every weekend, man.
I think it just comes down to having an addictive personality.
I have it addicted. That's the thing.
That's what I'm a little confused about.
Yeah.
It seems like you're addicted to other things, to work.
Yeah.
To
just projects. Yeah. If I get into something, man, I become obsessed with it, and I'm just thankful that I've never got obsessed with, like doing drugs or partying at that level. You know what I mean? Like, even during this whole like Farmers Market thing, if you'd follow me through Farmers Market, you think I'm living like a rock star. And I mean, I've done rock star shit, definitely, but like anybody in my circle will tell you, like, like, and if you watch it, I'm like, I'll come downstairs, like, even in our Vegas house, like, everybody's partying over there, and we're drinking and stuff, and I'd come downstairs, do a couple shots, put it on the gram, and then right there I'd walk right upstairs, bro. Turn on Netflix, or I had popcorn time.
Popcorn time.
Yeah, yeah. That free movie? I have, that free movie fucking thingy. And then, I'd watch documentaries and stuff. And I'd just do my little doodles upstairs in my room while everybody's downstairs raging.
That's crazy, because that just shows how much people follow social media and what they believe just from seeing that on the surface level.
Yeah, it's probably why I, like, relationships didn't last for me. They were like, really, and I can't, I don't have the time or energy, because, like, when I involve myself in projects or my career, I don't have time to fight with somebody that trying to tell them what I was doing, and it wasn't that bad. It's not what you think, and
but
trying
then,
to.
I saw it on social media. I saw stories,
Totally.
and then they jump to their own conclusions.
Yeah, well, they jump to their own conclusions, but here's the other thing, Kamox, bro. These girls have lived with me before, and they'd see me do that and just bounce out. You know what I mean? So it's just like, when you're not with me, I'm still doing the same thing I've done when you were right next to me. That formula doesn't change. I do what I have to do right then and there for the social media and stuff. And I bounce. And just because you're not there, I don't change into this other person, and just raging and doing all kind of foul shit behind your back. It's just, you get caught up in that perception. But why would you get caught in perception when you see that other side too? You know what I mean? So, like I said, and I've, after you've been in jail for 5, almost 6 years, cutting people off is like a light switch for me. You know what I mean? It's like, bye. This is done. I'll be bummed about it too. You know what I mean? But, I always give myself a little time to grieve and be kind of bummed out about it, emo about it. But then, it's done. And like, I'm comfortable not going back to it too. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm going to go back. It's going to be the same problem. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. And on to the next. You know what I mean? Next chapter. Let's go. Let's write this book.
but now you know how to, like, call it, how to identify it, and just be able to take those right action to just cut them off, whatever. Just because of again, your experience and what you've been through.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a gift and a curse. Yeah, because now you won't work so hard for something that might be worth it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you might give up too fast on something that might actually be worth fighting for.
Because you're a little jaded or something.
Or you just, I'm just, light switch. Mm-hmm. It's done. And then right there, it's like, fuck, man. You look back and you say, oh, shit, man. I think that was me. But you just got to, like, chuck it up as a loss.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've had a lot of successes, not just losses. And I mean, the biggest, just from what I've seen, is Farmers Market Hawai'i, right? You've created this lifestyle brand, this almost cult following that people just love. And it's one of the first of its kind, because we didn't really have a streetwear brand. When I think of Hawaii, I don't really think fashion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you kind of filled that void.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was always like, growing up, there's all these mainland brands, and I like these mainland brands, because of the music videos and culture and graffiti culture, the hip hop culture, the metal culture, that, and Hawaii didn't have that. So, like, I always wanted to, just, fill that gap or that bridge where you could wear something from Hawaii that like kind of gave you that same feeling with those mainland brands before,
like Supreme. And
like those.
The Hundreds.
Dude. Yeah, Hundreds is sick too. Mm-hmm. But so and that was my goal, going into this game. I wanted to give, kids from Hawaii a brand that they could connect with, but on that level too, where it's on that cool, streetwear level.
Yeah, you feel good wearing it.
Yeah, like, hey, cool. Dude, look what I got, man. This shit is hard to get, dude.
Yeah.
And then And the hair is, okay, it's ugly. I don't like it. You don't like it because you couldn't get it. Let's be honest, man.
Yeah, but it does attract a certain crowd, right? It's not like everybody's wearing it. Like I remember at some point I felt like, man, I'm not cool enough to wear this brand. This is the shirt I'm wearing right now. The knowledge is power.
Yeah.
It's a shirt that spoke to me. That's why I buy. I don't buy any clothes.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
like,
you, though.
I'm like the opposite of you. I'm bad fashion, surf shorts, slippers,
Yeah,
locals. Yeah, you got the couple Jordans. I just got 2 pairs of locals.
But that's what, if it works though. But like even shoes, man. Like shoes, I get this because it has a nostalgic value to my childhood.
Yeah.
You know, like I saw all those things I wanted that I couldn't afford them, and I'm just like, bitch, I can afford it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna buy that shit.
Yeah.
So even my
Treat yourself.
my sneaker collection, even like Jordans, I only go from 13 below. You know what I mean? Because by the 15 and the 20s, I could afford it because I was a D-boy at that time. So I could afford that shit. But for that nostalgic value, I just always like SBs because there's classic style looks like the Air Forces and stuff.
Yeah. Nikes. He got some cool Nikes on his feet.
Yeah, boy, this is from Japan too.
Yeah, nice.
No, but even that, in the sneaker community, man, it creates dialogue, and now like you're like, oh, those are cool sneakers, and I just shared that it's from Japan, and I can talk about these shoes, and now that I can educate you on sneaker culture and stuff, and I like that.
It's a conversation starter.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I wanted to make. That's what my goal with Farmers Market and clothing is to bridge that gap, to create that gap. I remember one time, so I made a towel. It was a super popular towel. I was the first one to do it too. But like the capes, the hau'ulas.
Oh, I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
So I was one of the first ones to because I grew up surfing and stuff, and this is my vision too. Because I made the Hawaii too, but with our logo on it. And some of the Hawaiians say, you're fucking desecrating our flag or whatever. But but even the the towel, I had like a lot of Hawaiians and locals loved it. They were like, fuck, such a sick concept, and I need one of those. And that's my favorite fucking towel, Keons. You gotta make more, and then there's a small crowd that was like, oh, bro, only the Chiefs can, and I'd argue with them on Instagram, oh, that's a towel for only Chiefs. What's your bloodline? And Chief, this and that. And I go on their Instagram too. Most of the time they talk from private pages or zero pictures. Yeah. The biggest stalkers have zero pictures, that zero posts. Yeah.
It's easy to hide behind social media.
Yeah. But then right there, I remember this one guy was, he's saying, oh yeah, bro, you could get fucking killed for wearing that back in the day. And I went on his social media too, yeah. It was public too. I was like, well, technically, you could get killed for eating with your girlfriend. It has him and his girlfriend, yeah. So if you want to go back that far, you're breaking a lot of kapu too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and you're, just so people understand what you're talking about, you're talking about how at one point that men and women had to eat separately.
Yeah. Totally. So and because he brought it to that back then, that age where if I wore a chief stuff, I could get killed.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. But also, if you ate with your girlfriend, you could get killed too. If you ate that food that you're eating right now at this time, you could get killed too. You know what I mean? So you can't, just there's no room to be a hater like that. In especially in these times to go and use that as like kind of like a launch point to argue with somebody and to try to attack somebody from. Yeah. It's a totally different time back then than it is now. But now today, and this is what I had in mind when I created that towel. I remember being in Indonesia when I was doing my clothing, yeah. And I'm just hungry to meet other Hawaii people, yeah. Like fuck, they had a shop out there. I'd go hang out at the local surf shop, And some people would, would be like, oh yeah, there's a guy from Hawaii. And I was like, oh shit, I want to hang out and connect with other Hawaiians, because you feel like that's my kind.
Yeah.
So right there, and I was a surfer, grew up surfing. So right there, I thought of this towel. I was like, man, if you were on the beach and you saw a kid wearing this with this towel, you would automatically know he's from Hawaii, or he's connected to Hawaii somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that right there is like, it creates conversation, it creates friendships,
Yeah.
and relationships, and that and that's what my goal was. You know what I mean? So even with a towel, so you have a hater saying, "Oh, you get killed because you're not in chief." Dude, you're missing the point of the creation and the inspiration that went behind that design. And if you don't think that's cool right now, what I just shared with you, then the problem isn't with me, man. The problem is really with you.
I love that perspective.
Yeah, dude.
To me, it's like, how is that not a sign of respect to our, to our
Yeah.
kapunas, to our history? Just like the mana wearing that or just having that. And like you said, it connects people. Like, even when I'm on Oahu, I see somebody with a Hilo sticker on their truck. I just want to roll down my window and be like, hey, how's it?
Yeah, totally.
Or it's like you're in the mainland or whatever. You see somebody or in Vegas, you see somebody with an aloha shirt or something that relates to you.
Yeah.
How do you not want to just say hi to them and just like break that
Yeah.
awkwardness of just like
Totally. Especially if you
say
feel
hi.
like you have nobody, you feel really lonely out there. Then you see other Hawaii people and you're like, fuck, I'm not alone. And you try, hey,
yeah.
what's up? Or you hear somebody talking pidgin,
Yeah.
like in the store.
About the school.
Oh, when I used to hang out at the school? Dude, I used to hang out at UNLV. I didn't have money to go over there, dude. I'm not smart, dude. I'm a dumb fucker.
Okay, come on. You're pretty smart.
No, but he was going over there, and I'd wear a Hawaii t-shirt. So a shirt that had something to do with Hawaii, even though it was like Hurley or Element or something like that, but it said Hawaii on it. I'd go skate in front of the DC. I just practice like flip tricks and like just like kick flips and all that shit in front of the cafeteria. And then when I'd see like cute girls, like if they look like local mix, and I'll be like, hey, are you from Hawaii too? And they'd be like, oh yeah, where you from? I just start talking story, and it's like, oh, so what? Where's the party at? Here, give me your. I used to do that. Yeah, just give me your number. Shit, we'll roll out with you guys and stuff.
UNLV kids, I hope you're listening right now.
Yeah, beware, dude. But I hung out, and he was going to class over there, so I tell him, oh, so what's your favorite class? He's like, oh, macroeconomics, and I really like that class. I was like, what do you like about it? And he tell me all about it, yeah. So when they were like, oh, what do you take? I was just like, macroeconomics.
This is his friend Doob sitting with us over here.
Yeah, bro. Doobie went
classic.
through. Yeah, dude. Doobie was just like, she's like, this guy, dude. You don't go there. Because some cute girls too.
Yeah.
Like he liked one of the girls too, and I just like finessed her.
That's funny.
And he's like, bro, he doesn't even go here.
Where's that from? Mean Girls? She doesn't even go here.
Fuck, I don't even know. Yeah, he's a mean girl.
Okay, so real quick, because we're about at the hour mark.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. We're going long this episode. I want to keep talking with you if that's cool.
Yeah, no problem,
This
bro.
is super interesting, and we're going long today. I hope everybody's just cool with that. We're going straight Joe Rogan. I was just listening to him on my drive over here. I want to be the Joe Rogan of Hawaii.
I want you to be the Joe Rogan of Hawaii.
I appreciate that. I want to just have these long form conversations with people. These local people doing incredible things, whatever their background is, whatever their beliefs are. Like I just want to create this space where you can just talk about anything. You can swear. You can tell your hatred or love for something, and it's just super safe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to create. But yeah, it was funny because when you were talking about the history of how the guy was like, oh, you'd get killed back in the days.
Yeah.
He was talking to this, Joe Rogan was talking to this guy. They're talking about this convention or something, and how people are so political, or like people my age are just like, the pronouns, the he, him, her, and all that, and then how people reference like, we are on like stolen land from the Native Americans back in the day, blah 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 blah, and then somebody else was like, well, are we gonna give back the land? But like, if we give back the land, who are we giving it to? We're giving it to the Apache who stole it from this tribe, who stole it from this tribe, who stole it from this tribe. So like, how far back do we have to go to make it right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I was thinking when you're talking about that. It's just like, man, history is history.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason. Things happen for a reason. How I think about it is just, we let it be, we learn from it, we do better, but we don't live in it. You know, it's a point of reference. That's all it is, not a place of residence.
Yeah. Well, you know, because I have Indian friends, and you know, and they have their tribes and stuff, and they're set up very well, man. They're like, and I like the fact that, you know, it culminates culture still. Like Hawaiians don't have that. And, you know, to kind of, you know, go with what you said, like, give it up and move forward. We don't have the land inventory available to give it up and move forward, because, you know, it's very, you know, we're running out of land where most people have to. And I think that's you know, kind of the tipping point where, if we give up now, we lose everything. You know, if we hang on to it, but then also hanging on to something can become very toxic too. So how do we hang on to it, and how do we adjust to make this work and beneficial and kind of a win-win on everybody's part? Like my Native American friends they have casinos on their land. And so, you know, one of my friends, Native American, and they have a casino, and, you know, he gets a $52,000 check a month. And I was just like, wow, man, like, what could Hawaiians do with even half of that, a quarter of that? You know, we could afford to live here. How do we set ourselves up to live in our ancestral home? Like, how do we do that?
Yeah.
You know,
I know Oivi.
yeah, but then, you know, there's the guys like, oh, you know, and Chief, you get killed for wearing that towel. There's that mentality when you attack other Hawaiians that are doing good. That mentality right there is the problem, and it's the reason why we face, you know, this tremendous hurdles. You know, because if one guy does good, man, you know, we have that 10 other guys questioning why he's doing good. You know, but they're questioning from a you know, from their couch, basically, instead of like getting up. And, you know, like, I even tell people, like, I remember one time I did Christmas bags. So I went out and I did Christmas bags. I got some stuff from Farmers Market, got some stuff from Broken Hearted. We made these bags, and I made a video about it. Yeah. I went and, you know, went down to Pohoa skate park and I passed out skateboard decks and stuff, and Christmas bags. I made a video doing it too, but then I got hate from that, you know, it's a small group over there. But they're like, oh yeah, he's just doing that for the clout. And I'm just like, okay, so that's how you guys are seeing it. You know, that's that jealous mentality of he's doing it for the clout. If you're seeing it like that, like I said, I'm not the problem, you're the problem. And what could you do? Do better than me then. And that's my thing. Pass out twice as much bags as me then. Or you do it and you don't record it then. I'm doing it to put it out there, you know, in the community, that I'm doing these kind of things to inspire other people. Exactly. Say, oh, well, he did that, let's do that too. Or other brands, you know, other local brands say, oh man, that was really cool what Keoni did. We should do something like that too. And then who wins? The community, the kids. So I don't know. It was just like, when I hear like those negative Hawaiians, I'm just like, man, you have to find something that you're passionate about in life, because that right there is we're facing a lot of problems and hurdles because of that mentality. We're not finding solutions. You can't complain. Well, you can, but it doesn't do yourself any justice to complain without at least offering a solution. Yeah. Or you know, don't complain. You have to, if you have an alternative or maybe, you know, some kind of foundation you can build off as a solution, then you can complain. You know, but I complain about like the politicians and stuff. I complain about them pretty often.
As do half of the people here, more than half.
Yeah, but I do it because like now it's to inspire people to just, okay, we need to be the change we want to see. And I tell everybody, I was like, man, you keep on voting for these people that they're not a part of the community. They're not in our community. I don't see them at KTA. I don't. Billy Kinoy is the only one I saw. Cool
Shout out
fucking
to
brother
Billy
too.
Kinoy.
Yeah, he was the
Uncle
man.
Billy, yeah.
But
I loved how true he was to himself.
totally, bro. Totally.
Straight
I get
pigeon.
chicken skin thinking about how
Yeah,
dope he was.
yeah.
But then right there, you'd see him out like at Honolulu, Pohiki. You'd see him in the water and stuff. All these other fucking politicians, man, they're making they're making their rules, policies, and laws at a country club that most Hawaiians can't even get in, and that's where the deals are being made. Oh, you own construction company, okay? Oh, CARES Act money, just start a 501(c), and I'll make sure you guys get them, dude. All that backhanded shit. That's what needs to change, I had Paul Morgan on my podcast. He's running for governor. Popolo guy, super cool guy too, man. Like really down to earth, super cool guy. I like what he did when he came to my podcast too. He brought his own like recording equipment and stuff. He set it up himself. With this other girl Mo, who I met through Farmers Market. I met a lot of good people through Farmers Market, but they set it up themselves, and oh man, I like this. You're not coming in with like a crew of people and ordering them around. You're doing it yourself, and I like that. You're a leader. You know what I mean? You're not a boss, you're a leader. And you're leading by example. You're not, I don't know. I got more respect for people like that.
Yeah.
So all these like, all the politicians in office right now, man, do you see them? I never see them.
I think I saw Ige once at Costco with like 5 security guards. But he had a mask on, but I swear that was him. Because I was like, it's like, they have like the Secret Service. It's like these guys, I kind of see them just like standing, arms crossed, looking around. It's a kind of short Asian guy. It's like, that has to be Ige, because I'm very like aware of things around me. So I was just seeing these guys. I'm like, okay, those have to be bodyguards or whatever. So I think that was Ige.
But like, look at him and like Josh Green and stuff. Like, what circles do they roll in? And what circles do we roll in? So, like we can have a conversation right now, and you dropped a couple names. I was like, oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that's a good brother. They'll never fall in that conversation, in that circle of conversation where, oh yeah, brother Josh Green, he's a cool guy. Shut up, dude. He doesn't hang out with anybody. Nobody likes that guy. We always think we're gonna see something new in the game, but they're the same political actors. And the only person that, was pretty true to this was Billy Kinoy. You know what I mean? And then what happened to him? He got attacked. And I feel like he was attacked because he was Hawaiian. I'm just gonna say it. That is like the biggest problem, But we need to have more. These younger generations fill those spots where it's like they love Hawaii. They love what they can do. Yeah, dude. They need to fill these spots out now.
Hey, we're trying. That's my goal. I see a different vision for Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I know that we have potential to do a lot, especially like working with Hawaiiverse and working with all these business owners, local business owners, young entrepreneurs, and I'm seeing like what we can accomplish and how we can change the political climate. And I don't think that we have to do it through politics. It's probably the highest level in which you can make a change over here. But there has to be some way, right? And whether that's just like kicking people out or changing who's there right now, new fresh faces, new people like, Kai Kahele, the other, there's sorry, that's who.
Andrea Tupola.
Andrea Tupola. There's the one young guy, I can't think of his name. Anyways, but
Even that though, like now we just came out of 2 years out of this so-called pandemic, yeah. And then again, history repeating itself. You're having a bunch of politicians tell you, and it's exactly like the Hawaiian language. They're telling you what to feel and how to feel and when you can feel that way, or if you can even feel that way. And what you think is not right. What I think is superior to what you think. And they threw a little bit of money. They threw a little money at this the our Kuleana. And after Mauna Kea, they know how to divide the Hawaiians. Throw some money at one group. Throw some money at these a bunch of money at these popular groups and watch them fight.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And then my thing was too is like, okay, so and then people were starting to wake up, and I was like, oh, okay, Kai Kahele, okay, cool, maybe one Hawaiian, it's got a Hawaiian last name, maybe he'd be good for our change. Then I started seeing him trying to vaccinate little children. I'm just like, wait a minute, there's if you're gonna do the research and you're gonna go on the science instead of the liance, let's talk about how no kids are dying from COVID. Let's talk about that. How they have the strongest immune systems, in the community. But they're the ones constantly wearing the mask. There's the ones that are, my daughter sneezed, go home, quarantine, 10 days. She's stuck over here, missing her friend, and she loves school.
Yeah.
But right there, I'm just like, okay, now things aren't making sense. And now I think more people are starting to kind of wake up, because when it was just us, they called us, I mean, I was vaccinated as a child. I think most of us were. We all had polio vaccine. We were vaccinated. So it's not, you can't give us the term anti-vaxxers. You can't give us that term, because I was vaccinated as a child. This one, it's brand new. Let me think about it. Give me some time to get comfortable with the idea and see some good results. But I haven't seen any good results. In life, we all get sick. And I think we need to just get back to the basic foundation of life and what it is, man. It's to live. You're alive to live. You're not alive and you're not immortal. We're all gonna go. Live your life, and create good memories. Being stuck in the house, arguing with people online and on the internet about your political ideas is not bettering your life. It's not bettering your kids' lives. You know what I mean? What is taking them out, taking them to play, creating and creating these memories with them. And guess what though? We're not even allowed to create memories with them, because all the kids' sports is done. Well, they just opened it back up now, but
But you have to be vaccinated too.
oh yes,
to
even
play
that
sports.
too. So now they're dangling the carrot, and they're creating this class division between people, a class caste system where, oh, you're dirty, you know what I mean? And they did, and we went through, like, America has gone through this whole cycle of prohibition and racism and stuff to be at this level where we're supposed to be very understanding, very accepting of other ideals other than our own. We don't have to. Like, my ideals might not fit your lifestyle, and I should be okay with it, and they should be okay with that too. You know what I mean? Like, but and when you think about it too, even the Hawaiian culture, a lot of people don't understand us, and that's okay too. We understand us, and we live in a cool place. And if you want to come visit our cool place, don't try to make our cool place your cool place, because it's totally different from what we have in our heads that's
Yeah.
cool to us, and from what you have in your head. So don't move here to try, get away from whatever you're getting away from to make our cool place your cool place.
You
now.
adapt to us. We don't adapt to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are willing to do that. But now these political parties are catering to the ones that don't. They're saying, oh, okay, yeah, here comes the gated communities. Here comes the quiet title sales. Like I can go super heavy and super deep into that, but we're gonna be on here for 3-4 hours, man. We can do another one too, brother.
We might have to do a part two.
Yeah, we
But
definitely can. But
yeah, I am not a fan of the mandates. I don't care if you're vaccinated, unvaccinated,
too.
whatever it is. I just don't like how political it has gotten and how much it has divided families, friends, people in this community. Because I have family who's vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Yeah, same.
But it's like I don't love them differently.
Yeah.
I love them the same.
Totally.
I don't think that it should be like you should demonize certain people just because of a choice that they made. And
especially how far we came.
yeah, we often forget that we aren't each other's enemies. Like there's one common enemy, and that's the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's not each other. It's not Hawaiians versus Howlers. It's not vaccinated versus unvaccinated. Like we need to work together to be better.
Yeah.
And so we can thrive in this community. So it's just interesting because you can almost never have a civil conversation about vaccination status.
It gets really weird. Yeah.
With somebody who is not on the same page as you. And that's why I love where I am at, because I am in the middle, because I hear both sides. Because if you hear one side, if you just look at left media, if you look at NBC, CBS, you're going to disbelieve everything. You're going to believe that if you don't get vaccinated, then you're going to die. And you won't survive, even though there's a lot of studies that,
and you're going to get your grandparents.
Otherwise.
Your grandparents are going to die because of your bad choices.
And then people who are vaccinated are saying, hey, you unvaccinated people, you're the ones at fault. We are still in this pandemic because of you. And then the unvaccinated people just go right back to the vaccinated people with all these facts. But I will say there's one thing that I do notice is that the people who are unvaccinated, they do more research than the people who are vaccinated. Because most people who are vaccinated, they see it on TV, they see commercials or whatever's on social media, this propaganda, and they're like, okay, well, I have to follow that rhetoric. I have to follow that narrative. And again, I do not like the narrative that the media is putting out.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem. I have no problems with vaccinations or people unvaccinated. It's the narrative that's creating this divide.
The divide?
But but like I said, it's interesting because I listen to my family, and all the unvaccinated people, they have facts, they have the research, they have all the statistics, but the vaccinated people,
they're still more loving.
But they're more, I don't, everyone's loving to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into that, but just from my experience alone, is that it just seems like people who are vaccinated, they see it on TV, they do it, they follow. So I'm not hating on either side, but I'm just saying it's hard to have these conversations because these unvaccinated people are giving all these details and whatever research that they do, but the vaccinated people are just discrediting it because it's not on the FDA site. But a lot of things are on the FDA site, the CDC site. So it's like you're wrong, and no one's gonna believe each other, even though like the facts are out there.
Even though there's statistics, there's numbers, and you can go by those numbers and stuff, but and you can get those numbers off the CDC website
public information
itself.
Yes.
But somehow, if it supports my reasoning and my ideal and why I don't want to versus you wanting to, then how is it false information? Because it's the same information.
Yeah, but because it doesn't support your
ideal,
beliefs. Yeah, so it's like you can look at something online and you find anything that supports you. You send it to them. They're going to look online, find something that supports them, send it right back to you. It's just this back and forth nonsense. Same with the Trump-Biden thing over again. It's like I'm just sick of all of this. Like these sides. Like why can't we just be okay with people having different views?
Living
a different life.
And we were. Before this, we were. Like, even when you look at even say 20 years ago, you got to think 20 years ago, being gay was a dirty, bad thing. You know what I mean? And we've gotten past that. We understand that it's not. It's a personal choice, and to respect people's personal choices. So how is it that, getting a medical procedure that's a personal choice is not a personal choice anymore. And it throws you into this category of, you know, uh, of dirty and unvaccinated, uneducated, and you got conspiracy theorists and stuff, and versus the, you know, okay, vaccinated, you're clean, you're good, you can go to all these events and you listen and you there's all these perks that you can get because you've taken the government's stance with them on it. And to me, that was the wrong part, because I saw how far we've come as a society to be okay and accepting, even with religion too. Like religion is a huge thing before too. But now everybody's like, oh, okay, Islamic, oh, cool, yeah. And you can take religion, even with religion, you can take, there's certain, PowerPoints in every religion that you can respect and add it to your lifestyle that would make you a better person. You don't have to subscribe to be total in subscribing to one religion and where you want to just like, okay, you're not that religion, I hate you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've evolved as a society to just
That's a really
accept
good point.
differences. You know what I mean? So, we can talk about like religion, and I respect your viewpoint. I think that's really great. But here, this is, I'm kind of doing this religion and it's working well for me. And that's the thing we got to remember. If it works well for a person and it helps them in their life, that's personal. And you got to respect their personal and what works for them and how well and how good it makes them too. And yeah, so with all these other choices, man, what you just said is the point where we have to just like let go of like the ideals and
Let go of our egos.
yeah, and being subscribed to one single set of ideas, so strongly that you're not going to allow good information and good facts and even good energy to flow into your life. You know what I mean? And like, it'll stop you from meeting some really cool people. But you know who does that? Mainstream media puts that out there. They keep on pushing. Like, let's talk about farming. Let's talk about food independence. Let's talk about how do we become more self-sustainable as a people, financial stability. Let's talk about taxes. How can we pay less taxes? Or that's why that's the whole thing. I got caught up in this whole blockchain thing because I understand, like, blockchain is revolutionary. And I had a customer in here yesterday, because he overheard me, talking about making NFTs, and he's like, "What is that, NFTs? It's just pictures?" I said, "Well, I'm an artist, so NFTs are a way for me to create a digital contract and have a digital deed that says I created it and I gave it to you. Now you own that." Just that specific thing. You don't own the right to reproduce it, but you own that specific deed. It's like if I gave you a Honda Civic, you don't own all the Honda Civics. You own the one that you purchased from me solely, just that single one. And he's like, "Oh, okay, that makes more sense." And I said, "Okay." So he's like, "Oh, but isn't there just pictures?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." And there's just pictures. There's just pictures of Van Goghs and Monets and stuff. But do you own one? Would you like to own one? "Oh yeah, it'd be a dream of mine." I was like, "Okay, so that's what that is.
Yeah.
You're gonna own it, or are you gonna own a reprint?" And it's just, and does it bring any higher grade of? Will you live longer by owning one of my NFTs? No, you won't. You know what I mean? It's just a conversational piece. But what are clothes? Conversational pieces. What's art? Conversational pieces. When we think about us, we're on a podcast. We're having a conversation. Innately, we're social beings, and we find enjoyment out of socializing with other people and learning new things. Sometimes learning new things, sometimes helping to forget old things, maybe, or in certain circumstances.
Yeah. I think it's just interesting to hear others' perspective. I think that's why these conversations are so important. That's why I love talking to people. I love traveling. I love meeting people from different backgrounds and upbringings, just because you learn so much.
Totally.
And the more you learn about others, the more you learn about yourself.
Totally.
You're like, oh, well, I, like you say, you take a little bit from everything, and then that's what you try to use in your own life to become a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But, okay, we have to do Instagram questions.
Yeah.
And
IG, let's go.
Yeah, I was getting way too into this, but so hopefully people are still here. I'm sure they're still here. This is a great convo. But let's do some Instagram questions. The first one comes from Kamalani Pico. You might have heard of her.
Oh, Kama, yeah.
She was just our guest on the last episode. She wants to know, what advice would you give to a new local business on how to become successful?
Let's put that. So, okay, so first rule, like business, like marketing wise, are you first to market, or how are you different? So you got with either product or service, and it's not rocket science too, because all you're doing, if you're taking a clothing company, like say you want to start a clothing company, and I have a clothing company, the best way to be good at having a successful clothing company is working for somebody that has a successful clothing company. And then while you're working for them, you say what I like about it, you write it down. I write everything down. It just makes it more tangible, I guess. But you write it down.
I'm old school. I like to write stuff down.
Yeah, too. You write it down, what you like about it and what you would change. And then you tweak their formula, or you add to their formula that work for them. So now you have a strong, you have a stronger formula. And, I might not be hip to what's coming out, or I'm not seeing what's ahead of me. And you might. So you can you can work for me, take my formula, add what you see that I'm not seeing, and elevate from there. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much answers her question, I guess. Yeah.
No, I like that, because even with Hawaiiverse, we started as a coupon directory, like a Yelp Groupon, 40 businesses in Hilo last year during the pandemic, and we've grown to over 1,000 businesses statewide. And now we're going into the e-commerce section, trying to become the Amazon of Hawaii, and we take stuff from Amazon. It's like that template, like they're doing what they're doing, and it works. So why not try to replicate that in a local version?
Yeah. Oh, I had he was a Indian guy, Parth. Yeah, super cool guy, but he brought up this point, and what they're trying to do too is pretty similar. But he's like, okay, so Amazon takes 40%. He's talking about percentage. I was like, I don't know, 'cause I don't do Amazon yet. Like, I buy Amazon, but I don't use Amazon too.
Everyone will be buying Hawaiiverse instead of Amazon.
Yeah.
In the
So
future.
this is what he said though. He said, so that's a huge percentage. Why not just charge a monthly fee? What does the Uber, the largest taxi company in the world, owns no cars? Airbnb, the largest rental agency, owns no houses. All they're getting is, and even Amazon owns no product. But and how do you build on Amazon's idea? And he brought this up, and he was just like, there's a monthly charge, something that's affordable. So say it's $25. Can you afford $25? Yeah. So it's just $25 to be on this platform where you have your service, and here's a directory, here's a search engine, and it pulls it up. I was like, fuck, dude, I want to invest.
Yeah.
You're gonna take Amazon out, because just like at one point we thought MySpace was the best social media. Then move into Instagram, Facebook, and then Facebook is the best social media. Instagram's and it keeps on evolving too. That's part of life. Life is always going to evolve, and people are going to take good ideas and build on them. And that's evolution.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Awesome.
I hope you guys do that.
Yeah. Okay. So Kamalani actually asked a bunch of questions, so I want to ask another one from her, and then we're gonna get into the last one, which will lead into our next conversation.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay. So, what advice would you give to the youth with your knowledge and experience in life?
The keiki, bro. because I can't give advice that's gonna make me seem hypocritical, but and I don't want to give like I don't want to glorify certain decisions at the same time too. But you're gonna make mistakes. Make sure your mistakes are small enough where you don't hurt people. Um, but fucking go for it. Like go for it.
Don't hold back.
Don't no and do
Follow
it
your heart.
110%. Don't get into something halfway. Become obsessed with it in a way that man, people aren't gonna understand you. And you won't have friends for a little while, but that's okay because what you're passionate about and what you want your life to be is only for you, and you can only make that decision yourself. So, you know, you got to be lonely for a little while, man, or sister.
That's funny because a lot of entrepreneurs I talk to, they kind of say the same thing. You kind of just have to be obsessed with what you do and kind of just like nobody's gonna understand you. Nobody's gonna see your vision except you.
Yeah.
And I even understand. Last year, I had a vision to pay off $50,000 in student loans in 1 year.
Yeah.
I'm just sure how many people saw that and was like, yeah, right. And I did it in
Yeah.
11 months.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So,
Bro, that shit took me like 9 years.
but like that's what I love is that confidence in yourself and no matter what anybody else believes, like believe in yourself and that vision that you have. One day, everyone's gonna see it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And you're gonna be awkward. You're always gonna be awkward and like an outcast. But you're only gonna be awkward and an outcast to people that don't really matter. And sometimes it's even family. Sad part.
Yeah. All right. So last question from Instagram. It's not really a question. This comes from Lauren Valdez _. Do you know who that is?
Oh no.
I think this is Lauren's. Let me find him on Instagram. Maybe. Let's see.
The boy, girl.
Boy. I met him on this networking event. Lawrence Valdez. See him?
Because it does ring up. That name rings a bell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's really into NFTs and
Okay.
crypto and stuff.
Okay.
Cool guy. Shout out to him. So he wants to do a collab on an NFT. Maybe you should reach out to him after.
He's super. Is
Yeah,
he an artist?
He's super into NFTs. I'm actually not sure if he's an artist. Let me see. I'll show you his Instagram
Okay.
later. But he has a decent following on Instagram.
Okay.
But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about NFTs right after we do our local business shout out, because every episode we do a local business shout out, and once our episode releases, we do a giveaway. And this giveaway is a super special giveaway. It might be the only one of its kind. I partnered with Farmers Market Hawai'i, Keoni Payton, and Broken Hearted, and he's gonna give away an NFT, a
Yep.
non-fungible token.
Yes.
And if you don't know too much about it, do your research. This is like on the same level of crypto. Everyone's getting into it. But I'm gonna let you explain it more, talk about what we're gonna give away, and maybe even if you wanna tell them where we're at, Broken Hearted, it's your other business.
Yeah. Broken Hearted is my baby. Like it's my love child. It's something. It's the place where I go to do me, focus on me, and be inspired by things that I understand. So it's like therapy. Farmers Market is what pays the bills because of its big popularity. And when I started Broken Hearted, I didn't have the energy because I'm a dad now. So it's not that I didn't have the energy. I still have the energy. I barely sleep. But
Yeah, this guy wakes up at 4 a.m. every morning. Crazy.
But it's I don't have I can't because I'm a dad. So I wouldn't be in their lives as much as I need to be. So that's the problem with that equation right there. So I didn't get to put the time, energy, and hustle into Broken Hearted that I did into Farmers Market. But at the same time, I don't mind because it's less stressful. Like I said, it's therapy. Like I come out with concepts and ideas and clothing ideas, like you wear your heart on your sleeve kind of deal with brokenhearted. And Farmers Market is just, this, you know, um, locally, Hawaii inspired juggernaut in the streetwear scene here in Hawaii.
Also, if you're in Hilo, come by downtown Hilo. It's an amazing shop. A lot of art everywhere. Good products. But yeah, come stop by.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So this NFT that you're gonna give away, we'll post it next week when this episode comes. Or I guess when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
Because when you're listening to this, it won't be next week. It'll be today. Whenever you're listening to this. So yeah. Well.
So you have to.
What's the hype with NFTs?
So the hype with NFTs is, it's okay. So cryptocurrency runs on this thing called blockchain technology, and blockchain is a digital ledger that's held on everybody's computer. Not everybody, a certain amount of computers that says the transaction has to be verified on like how many different levels. And if there's a kink in that, in the information, in the code, then it's just blocked and deleted. So you can't hack it.
Yeah, it's decentralized.
Yeah, it's decentralized. But also the strong point, and to me what I like about it is, you have a digital ledger of saying who had it before, when they had it, and what they had it at. The transparency of currency is there. So it's not like, I understand that's why the government didn't adopt it. Because, you could track where all the money went. You wouldn't have, I don't know how much trillions of dollars they're missing right now, but you wouldn't have that. Also, I was telling my customer, imagine if they use blockchain technology for voting. That would change the voting. You couldn't cheat it. Maybe that's why they didn't adopt it yet. Maybe they will. But right now, the technology has been available these past, elections, the past couple of elections. The technology was there. They didn't use it. But right now you can do the same thing for artwork and for artists. And it's the reason why all of us as artists and creatives are getting really excited about it, because we've seen some huge major wins for a demographic that has been largely forgot. Other than myself, I've had some a little bit of success for designs, and I buy designs from other artists and stuff too. But this is a way for us to make royalties. Like we can make a digital contract that says, okay, in the future I get 5% of every sale connected to this piece of artwork, and that digital ledger says that. That digital contract says that deed says that. So if I sell Doobie this NFT for $10 and say I get 10% of it, I make $1. Then he sells it to you for $100. I get $10. Then you sell it to him for $1,000. Every transaction I'm making 10%.
I didn't know about that.
No, yeah. You can. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can write the contract how you want it.
Oh.
And if it goes for $1 million, I'm getting 10% of that $1 million now.
Crazy.
In its entirety, forever.
Is that every NFT? Or it's specific depending on how the contract works?
Depends how you code the contract.
Wow, that's crazy.
So here's the cool thing about our coded contract. And this, I'm excited to talk about this too. Okay, so our coded contract puts 5% of the coded contract. So we're releasing 100 NFTs, like 100 different NFTs.
We as in
me and
farmers?
Lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Knuckle Fat. So the Angry Natives.
Okay.
So we have 100 different designs, but we're releasing 5 in each design. One of them goes into a community pot that gets sold on a secondary market. The other four get sold at a floor price by us. You know what I mean? There's 5%. A percentage of that sale goes into a community pot. The full sale of this one, the fifth one, on a secondary market goes into this community pot. Now, I'm not going to say wherever we go in Hawaii to create NFTs. Like I said, remember, we just kind of got a place. I don't want to blow up the island or whatever, the location now. But, in that area that we were creating NFTs in, we were inspired by the color palettes, the atmosphere, the environment, the energy, the people. So they get a piece of that pie. Where they have so we look for 501(c)(3)s or 5, not for profits.
Honestly, you could say any number and I'd believe you. I don't know.
501(c) or 3C, C3. But so we look for ones in that area that we created these NFTs at, and they and we pick a couple. Now we're picking the not-for-profits that aren't gonna get love from the state of Hawaii. Look at Daniel Anthony's thing. Mana'ai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
look,
I met him.
Yeah, dude. Look how good his farming and how good for the community is. But he's not getting these big grants. He's not getting all the help from the government when they should support more things like that. He's somebody that I would consider on picking the 501(c), the not-for-profits. There's, I don't know if they don't even know we're picking them. When we're staying in the area, kind of just looked around, asked around who's doing what, and so there's a handful of people that we're gonna kind of like see what they do, if it has good community value, if they're good people, if it has good community value, and inspires the community too. Then we're gonna pick them, yeah. But it's not to say that there aren't other people that are just as inspiring or more inspiring. So that's why I don't want to give the names out, yeah.
Yeah.
Because how come we always fall into this thing? Oh, how come he got on mine? I never. You know what I mean?
Just be happy for each other.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
I love seeing people succeed.
Me too, bro.
Love it.
But so that's what these NFTs are. Now, they're a way for us to give back to the community. And strengthen the community. But also we're making money too because we're artists. Now we're getting a percentage of each sale. Like I said, we're getting a percentage of each sale. But so is this. Well, a lot of people call it a DAO, but it's like a community holding, like an NFT community holding for these not-for-profits. Yeah. So that's kind of like our way of giving back, and bringing value to the community, but also inspiring. Like Antonio's working on a thing. He's probably gonna pitch it to like Netflix or HBO. On how we did this. That's why I always have a camera and we're always documenting this whole thing, yeah. Because if it does win, we can sell it on Netflix, and he can make some money. We can make some money. It in popularity wise, it'll drive the prices of our NFTs up, and if our NFTs, are going through the roof, are getting the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Man, the community is getting thousands of fucking dollars too. Like we're all winning.
Funnels it to the community. Well,
Yeah.
from you guys to the community.
Yeah.
So it's like this cycle of just
Growth.
monetary growth.
Yeah, we're all winning. And like we have, and for early adopters too. Man, I sold $40 hats that went on eBay for $600, $700, $800, thousands sometimes.
How does that feel to know that you
That shit feels good, man. I'm just like, your boy did it.
yeah, man.
But
That's awesome.
and I believe I can do that for the in this NFT space too. And man, I've had billionaires like say, "Do you need money? We want to invest in you."
Well, tell them give Hawaiiverse some money because we could use it.
Yeah. Even like over here, like my employees, like I told my employees over here too. You graduate high school, I'll give you $500. You pass, you make it out of high school, and they always want to give up too, yeah. I don't think so. Just stay in it. If you graduate, I'll give you $500.
Hey, I graduated
Yeah.
10
Hey,
years
no,
ago.
no, but
Can
even
I
like
collect? It's like passing goal.
with interest, huh?
Yeah.
I'll give you an NFT. It's gonna be worth way more.
Okay.
Yeah. But like even the original crew that started Farmers Market with us, you know, she was going to UH. You know, she's studying to be a teacher, and during her like she's had like a year left, and you know how they go to schools and they're what is that not apprentice, teacher.
Internship.
Yeah, yeah. So she's like, I hate it. I don't want to do this. I'm not into this. I was like, she's like, oh, can I just get more hours at the shop? And I was like, no, you can't. You have a year to go. Okay. I've seen you. You've tapped into all these scholarships, bro, to help you, through school, which could have went to somebody else that's going to actually do it. You got to at least finish it, man. If not, fire you. You know what I mean? And then after that, right there, she's like, really, KB? I was like, really? And then right there, I was like, hey, man, if this thing doesn't work out, man, you have something to fall back on. And you're almost done. I'm going to tell you, a year is nothing, man. I spent a quarter of your life in jail. So a year is nothing. Don't worry about it, man. It's going to go by fast. And, stuck it out. Got the degree. You know what I mean? So, even though it looks like, we live this crazy lifestyle and stuff, man, I'm very supportive of like education and them being the best that they can be too, so it's, I'm not trying to just party with all these weirdos.
Okay, right on. So, man, this is interesting. I think we're gonna have to get you back on the podcast another time.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we'll do every year. We'll have a check-in with KP,
Yeah,
Keoni Payton, Painkillers.
oh, dude, the next one's gonna be big, dude, because we're gonna talk about
We're just getting started.
No, but we're gonna be talking about these NFTs.
Oh.
And now like, like it's gonna be like, hey, remember when that was just you're just trying to do that, and to creative visualization and maybe I'm just trying to attract that too, but and I picture myself having this conversation with you, like,
Yeah.
told you, man.
I love that. I love manifesting all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
So, what do you think is the biggest problem with local businesses? Like, how do you become a successful business? Because having a business in Hilo isn't the easiest thing. It's not really a huge market. It's a pretty small community. Do you have to branch out to other places? You have a shop in Vegas, Oahu. Like...
Yeah, man. Here's the weirdest thing too about that was, I had, when I didn't have a shop in Hilo, I got a lot more support.
But when you're just selling stuff on your truck or something.
Yeah, no. When I used to just do pop-ups here, I got a lot more support. Then you move in, and then you get that's it's the weirdest thing, because then you get close to people, and then that's when you get close to people, like stuff for free, or the dynamic changes, and I want to do that for them, but it's not like, people are more supportive of a stranger than they are of somebody they know.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
I understand that. It's like sometimes the strangers are nicer to you than your friends and families.
Way more supportive,
It's a weird concept.
It is.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's more so that they're trying to support you in the beginning, and then once you've quote unquote made it, they're just like, okay, now you give us free things, or like, what do you think it is?
I don't know. I guess you just, or it could be a couple of things, man. Like I said, I don't have the time and energy to do like the things I did when I first started Farmers Market. The crazy partying and the lifestyle and all that stuff. I don't have the energy for that anymore. And maybe that's the thing, that they were like made it cool to them or something, you know what I mean?
Because it was the lifestyle.
Yeah.
They wanted to be part of that lifestyle. Wearing Farmers Market made them feel like
part of that lifestyle.
rock star lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't do fucking anything
Yeah.
rock star anymore, dude.
Because I remember
I'm a rock star dad.
when I was yeah, there you go, even better. Because I think when I was in high school, I mean not high school, college, that's when it really blew up.
Yeah.
It was like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Is that when it
Yep.
is? Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah. So that was around the time, and man, it was the biggest, hottest brand out there.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. Like if you're around my age, you definitely know about this. When I did my race to 50K, I did odd jobs to pay off my student loans. One of my jobs, somebody actually asked me if I could, because I was in Hilo during the pandemic, if I could stand in line and get one of the drops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they actually ended up not going because I think they said it was the timing didn't work out, or it was already sold out or something. But that's how big it is. People got plugs just to get these drops. That's how big it has
But it was
become.
like, and that's the thing. It create like people that stood in line, man. There. I know several people like that used to stand in the line that they got married to people that they met in our lines.
No way.
They have
What a love
kids.
story.
No, yeah, it's crazy. So, and like I still like, like all of us that's part of Farmers Market, man. Like we've made cool connections and friendships with like people we wouldn't have had the chance to do that, but we did it through the brand. And that's, to me, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Sounds corny, but that's the shit.
No, I love it. I totally agree. Just the connections, working together and going through this journey together.
Yeah,
It's awesome. Something you can also look back to. And that leads into my next question, which is perfect. Like, what's the legacy you want to leave?
Just to like, okay, to show kids that come from a shitty background, you can do it.
Yeah. I think you have shown people that, and I think that's something that we can all admire, because a lot of us listening to this, we probably had a pretty good background. We had good family. Everyone has their hardships, but to be able to come from nothing, having to work at fourth grade, having to go through all like the like not having a role model to steer you in the right
That's the
direction.
shitty part, but
Yeah.
but I still wouldn't change it.
Yeah, but the fact that you went through all of that you learned from all of your mistakes, and you've came out of it on the right side. You did your time, you put in the work, and look where you're at right now. How can you not see that and be inspired? With that hustle, regardless of what people might think of your history, your tattoo, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like the hustle. Like, how can you not respect that?
You'd be surprised.
See, people are just judgmental. That's why. Like, you're telling me a story earlier before we started this, but I don't know if you ever watched Ted Lasso. It's this new popular show with Jason Sudeikis. Super good. With this one episode, he quotes Walt Whitman. Because there's this scene when he was playing darts, and the guy didn't know he was really good at darts. He thought he was just gonna.
That Walt Whitman was Breaking Bad.
that was a Walter White.
Oh shit!
But it was, so there was some connection with Walt Whitman, Walter White. That's how he got the name.
Oh.
But the quote was, "Be curious, not judgmental." And for me, I'm a very curious person. I want to know everybody's story. That's why I want you on the podcast, because. Like, just like objectively, you're just like, wow, look at this guy, tattoos, whatever, and like you look at the social media, and like you said, everybody thinks you're partying or whatever. But it's not until you take the time to understand somebody and you sit down and have these conversations, you realize what they're really about. What their values are, and what their morals. And I think we in this society, especially like we were talking about vaccines, we need to be more curious. We need to be able to listen and not judge, so we can learn about each other.
Yeah, and so like I said earlier too, man. Sometimes we don't have to understand everything about a certain thing to respect it and give it its own space to breathe and live. I tell people all the time, you don't know how a car engine works, but you still drive a car.
Yeah.
If your car broke down, could you fix the engine? No, I can't. But do I still drive the vehicle Does driving that vehicle take me from point A to point B and everything in between? Yes, it does. So learning to not understand everything and how everything works, because you can still get to point A to point B.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to respect. The fact that this vehicle can get you from point A to point B. You know, you're still getting your goals done and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love it. Great way to end the podcast. I've held my pee for 2 hours. This is the longest.
I went twice.
Yeah. This is the longest podcast we've had. I hope you guys are okay with it. I'm okay with it. I don't think we should put limits on ourselves. I think, if it's organic, let's go with it.
Yeah. Right on,
so
bro.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was one of my favorites. I really enjoyed the conversation. Mahalo again for letting us come here and be in your studio. And
dude, and you can use this anytime. If you have other people that you want to use it, just clean up when you're done. But you can use it anytime.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you're a good guy. I'm happy I got to talk with you and learn more about you. But yeah, so where can we find you? What's your social media?
Painkillers is my social media. If you're into NFTs, cryptocurrency, metaverse, you can check out the Angry Natives. If you want to see Farmers Market Part 2 from its beginnings, if you missed like the inception and creation of Farmers Market, follow the Angry Natives for that cryptocurrency and digital space that we're gonna start moving into.
I'm about to follow it right now. And then we got Farmers Market Hawai'i. That's on Instagram. Broken Hearted,
like my little art gallery.
Yeah, go check it out. And I'm about to go head to a pop-up for Hawaiiverse right after this.
Oh, cool.
I gotta hustle.
Yeah. I brought some gifts for you too.
Oh, mahalo, appreciate it. So anyways, again, mahalo, Keoni, for joining us on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Check us out on Hawaiiverse.com, the best place to support local. Spread aloha, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. New episodes every Thursday. We're moving to a new date. We've been doing it every Wednesday, but just want to change it up a bit. So make sure you follow us and leave a review. Go check out your podcast as well.
Yeah, Round Block Podcast.
Round Block Podcast. Yeah. All right. So I'm your host, Kamaka, and you'll hear me next time on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Ahui ho.
Aloha.